Welcome to Lesson 5.7 of the Grant Architect course. In this lesson, we explore outcome objectives, which measure the changes that result from your program. While process objectives track what you do, outcome objectives track what actually changes as a result. Outcome objectives answer the question, did it make a difference? This is the question funders ultimately want answered. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how to write outcome objectives at different levels, connect outcomes to your logic model, and set realistic yet ambitious targets for program impact. Outcome objectives measure change resulting from program participation. They focus on what is different because of the program. Unlike process objectives that track what you did, outcome objectives track what changed as a result. This is the ultimate measure of program effectiveness. The question outcome objectives answer is whether the program made a difference. Did participants change? Did conditions improve? Did the desired results occur? Levels of outcomes include short-term, intermediate, and long-term. Short-term outcomes like knowledge gain happen quickly. Intermediate outcomes like behavior change take longer. Long-term outcomes like improved conditions may take years. Each level builds on the previous one. Short-term outcome objectives capture immediate changes. Timing is during or immediately after program participation. These changes happen quickly as direct results of program exposure. Focus is on changes in awareness, knowledge, attitudes, skills, and opinions. The AKASO framework from our logic model lesson applies here. Learning changes are short-term outcomes. Measurement typically uses pre-post assessments, surveys, and tests. Comparing before and after participation shows change. Validated instruments strengthen measurement. An example is 80% of participants will demonstrate mastery of content by scoring 80% or higher on post-test. This is specific, measurable, and captures short-term learning outcome. Intermediate outcome objectives capture behavior change. Timing is weeks to months after program participation. Behavior change takes time to establish. Immediate post-program measures may miss it. Focus is on changes in behavior and practice. What are participants doing differently? Are they applying what they learned? Behavior is the bridge between learning and condition change. Measurement uses follow-up surveys, observation, and records. Following participants after program completion is essential. Administrative records may document some behaviors. An example is 70% of participants will report using new skills on the job at 3-month follow-up. This captures behavior application with specific timing and measurement approach. Long-term outcome objectives capture condition change. Timing is months to years after program participation. Condition changes take time to manifest. Patience and sustained tracking are required. Focus is on changes in condition and status, employment, health status, housing stability, income level. These ultimate outcomes represent why programs exist. Measurement uses administrative data and long-term follow-up. Employment records, health system data, and similar sources document long-term outcomes. Follow-up surveys may supplement administrative data. An example is 60% of participants will maintain employment for 12 months following program completion. This captures sustained condition improvement with specific target and timeline. Writing outcome objectives requires specific language. Change language uses verbs indicating change. Increase, reduce, improve, achieve, attain, demonstrate. These verbs signal that something will be different. They distinguish outcomes from activities. Quantified targets specify percentages, numbers, or scores. Increase by 15%, achieve score of 80 or above, reduce from baseline by 20 points. Quantification makes objectives measurable. Measurement specified identifies how change will be documented, as measured by standardized assessment, self-report survey, or administrative records. Measurement method affects credibility. Timeline included specifies when change will be measured, at program completion, at 6-month follow-up, within 12 months. Timing enables planning and verification. Setting outcome targets requires multiple considerations. Baseline data means knowing your starting point. If you want to improve something by 20%, you need to know the baseline. Without baseline, percentage improvements are meaningless. Evidence base asks what similar programs have achieved. Research on comparable interventions provides benchmarks. If the best programs achieve 60% success, claiming 90% is unrealistic. Organizational capacity asks what you can realistically accomplish. Your experience, resources, and track record matter. New organizations may need more modest targets. Funder expectations matter because some funders have specific outcome expectations. Program priorities may specify expected results. Align with funder expectations where appropriate. Outcome indicators operationalize your objectives. By definition, indicators are specific measures that demonstrate outcome achievement. They translate abstract outcomes into concrete measurements. Criteria for good indicators include validity, reliability, feasibility, and sensitivity to change. Valid indicators actually measure what you claim. Reliable indicators produce consistent results. Feasible indicators can actually be collected. Sensitive indicators detect change when it occurs. Sources include validated instruments, administrative data, and custom measures. Validated instruments have established psychometric properties. Administrative data is often readily available. Custom measures may be needed for unique outcomes. Selection should match indicators to your specific outcomes. The indicator should directly measure what your outcome describes. Mismatches undermine measurement. Outcome objectives connect directly to logic models. Position is on the right side of the logic model after outputs. Outputs lead to outcomes. The flow should be clear. Progression shows short-term leading to intermediate leading to long-term. Your logic model should show this cascade. Learning enables behavior, which enables condition change. Connection means each outcome should link to specific activities. If an outcome does not connect to activities, how will you achieve it? Every outcome needs enabling activities. Alignment requires objectives to match logic model outcomes exactly. The outcomes in your objectives section should be the same outcomes in your logic model. Same wording, same measures, same targets. Attribution and contribution are important distinctions. Attribution claims the program caused the outcome. This is a strong claim requiring strong evidence. Experimental designs with control groups support attribution claims. Contribution claims the program contributed to the outcome. This acknowledges other factors while asserting your program played a role. Most program evaluations support contribution claims. Challenges arise because many factors affect outcomes beyond your program. Employment depends on the economy. Health depends on many factors. Isolating program effects is difficult. Strategy involves making reasonable claims based on your design and context. Stronger designs support stronger claims. Acknowledge limitations while asserting meaningful contribution. Common mistakes undermine outcome objectives. Unrealistic targets promise more than evidence supports. If the best programs achieve 50% success, do not promise 80%. Overpromising leads to perceived failure. Unmeasurable outcomes describe changes that cannot be documented. Feeling empowered or having hope may be real but difficult to measure. Choose outcomes you can actually assess. Timing mismatch expects long-term change immediately. Condition changes take time. Expecting employment success at program end rather than months later is premature. Attribution over claim promises outcomes beyond program influence. Your program cannot guarantee employment in a recession or health in a pandemic. Acknowledge contextual factors. Balancing process and outcome objectives strengthens proposals. Both matter because process enables outcomes and outcomes justify investment. You need to implement well to achieve results. You need results to justify the investment. A typical ratio includes more outcome than process objectives. Outcomes are the ultimate purpose. Process supports outcomes but should not dominate. Funder preference generally prioritizes outcomes. Funders want to see change, not just activity. Lead with outcomes while including process. Strategic mix includes both to tell the complete story. Process shows you will implement effectively. Outcomes show the expected results. Together, they demonstrate a complete program theory. Outcome objectives appear throughout proposals. In the goals section, outcome objectives follow from goals. Each goal should have supporting outcome objectives. The hierarchy should be clear. In the evaluation section, detail how outcomes will be measured. Describe instruments, timing, sample sizes, and analysis. Evaluation makes outcomes credible. In budget justification, include resources needed for outcome measurement. surveys, assessments, follow-up costs, and evaluation staff. Measurement costs money. Narrative connection references outcomes throughout the proposal. Your need statement identifies the problem outcomes will address. Your methods describe how you will achieve outcomes. Outcomes thread through the entire proposal. Here is a practical exercise to apply what you have learned. Step 1. Identify 3 outcomes from your logic model, ideally 1 short-term, 1 intermediate, and 1 long-term. These are the changes you expect from your program. Step 2. Write SMART objectives for each outcome. Apply the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound criteria. Each outcome should become a proper objective. Step 3. Specify indicators and measurement methods. What specific measure will document each outcome? How will you collect the data? Step 4. Set targets based on evidence and capacity. What have similar programs achieved? What can you realistically accomplish? Set ambitious but achievable targets. Let us summarize the key points from this lesson. Outcome objectives measure changes resulting from program participation. They track what is different because of your program. Levels include short-term learning outcomes, intermediate behavior outcomes, and long-term condition outcomes. Each level has appropriate timing and measurement approaches. Key elements include change language, quantified targets, and specified measurement methods. These elements make outcomes verifiable and accountable. In our next lesson, we will explore milestones and timelines, focusing on how to structure success indicators over a 12 to 24-month period.